Good day, devil hunters. You've had a long week being trapped in an eternal hell loop, and the after party sure was something. I haven't had that many drinks since last night at least. Speaking of which, Himeno got so drunk she forgot how to kiss somebody and ended up vomiting in Denji's mouth. Remember that? That's not how you do that, stupid! So sometime after that romantic happenstance, Himeno is intoxicated enough to believe that even after what she just did to this guy, he might be willing to have sex with her. Which, to be fair, despite all that, he's considering it. That's where we left off last, but episode 8 here opens with all kinds of predating scenes that just didn't happen in the manga. They parallel Aki's filler too, because they're just several shots of Himeno stumbling around her house and preparing things while Denji's passed out. It's pretty much all mundane shit, but it gives us a look at Himeno when she's just acting as herself in her own home, and provides us with more time with her as a character than we would have originally gotten. Just like with Aki going about his morning, it's a good use of space to expand upon the setting and people without reducing the impact of other scenes by elongating them unnecessarily. Although I think this is the first time where an episode hard cuts back in time just slightly earlier than where we were previously, only to essentially replay the part where Himeno moos and shit talks Makima before soliciting sex, albeit with unique angles. So maybe it's a little jarring, but I enjoyed watching some of these slower moments, like her leaning against her wall, clumsily changing her clothes. There's a lot of detail placed into outlining her behaviors when shit-faced. It occurs to me now though that Denji was asking for water here and she is spitting beer into his mouth, vomiting down his throat, spitting on him. Why don't you just jump straight to using him as a toilet? I like the oddly floating Denji on Himeno's bed as we watch Himeno approach from her wobbly perspective. I can't tell if this just looks off or if it adds to putting us in Himeno's eyes where things are no doubt blurry and disorienting to stare at. Whoa, hang on a minute. Is that a full-on shot of feet I'm seeing here? You can't just air bare feet close-ups on TV, guys. Internet nerds will go ballistic if they see that. Right as Denji's about to give in and reluctantly allow Himeno to detrouse him, she finds a Chupa Chups lollipop in his pocket and does not in fact find his penis. Denji gathers his thoughts and remembers earlier that night when Makima took him outside for some fresh air after the vomit makeout thing, and she buys him some nausea meds. Here Denji speculates about his sex life using her as a sounding board once again, not about the disappointment in meeting an unsatisfying goal, but about the idea that his future experiences may forever be tainted by a bad experience. Will this ruined first kiss permanently stick out in his mind with every future mouth hug, sullying the entire concept? In fact, I think it's entirely possible that one might let this happen. You could consider it traumatic even. It probably is on some level. But Makima, just as she had before, provides a shockingly healthy mental reframing for Denji. First by sticking her slightly used lollipop in his mouth as an indirect kiss, followed by expressing that yes, he probably will always remember that time he swallowed somebody else's stomach bile. It's a real experience, it's there, yes, but that's okay because it does not define any future experiences inherently. Put simply, as for the rest of his life, he will experience all kinds of things and be filled with numerous new happy memories as well, ones that will busy his mind to where he won't have the time to focus on this one shitty night. And with that, we cut back to Denji admiring his half-eaten candy that he actually stuffed into his pants and kept. Okay, a little extreme. He has declined Himeno's offer and Himeno has long since blacked out on her bed. He speaks to Pochita, apologizing for not giving him a dream to view as he had wished for back when he sacrificed himself for Denji. But Makima is who his heart is set on, and whether she's manipulative or empathetic or both, he is showing a conviction unlike any he has prior, because this time, he's willing to turn away from instant gratification in exchange for a more meaningful payoff someday, a memory that he hopes he can truly cherish. In the morning, the two eat breakfast on Himeno's really nice balcony. Bitch be living fancy here. Matter of fact, Denji comments about how it feels good to look down on people while eating, like a little king over here eating delicious sandwich. Himeno cuts straight to it. Did we or did we not fuck? Because unless I got it backwards and you said you were 61 last night, I might have forgotten that I drunkenly pressured a teenager into intercourse and might go to jail. She's relieved to find that her mistakes won't cost as much as they could have. Himeno points out that it's a little abnormal that Denji's still sitting here after how awkward last night was. But Denji, as we have come to grow comfortable with, is not normal and isn't capable of shame if free food is an option. Parts of this first half of the episode then have some really long, Evangelion-esque still shots to really drive in the air of the setting. I also feel like this is a point where I notice some blobbier line work or some lower frame rates in character motion, as well as a general sense that the pacing here could still be a little better. Although I get that this is a literal calm before the storm deal. I won't say I mind some of the corner cutting on the budget for this first half. It becomes unbelievably clear why this is done in like 2 minutes. Plus, it's still pretty sweet looking, and is only really noticeable because of how high the bar of quality is for this series. Even its cheapest portions can outdo entire series out there. But before that, Himeno reevaluates the thought that Denji is in love with Makima that she had whined about, asking if Denji would really still like her even if she had a shit personality underneath everything. Denji claims to just love love shit. Can't get enough of it. So they should form an alliance. Himeno helps Denji hook up with Makima, and Denji helps her get with Aki. Sure, but why Aki, Denji asks. Because he looks good, of course. That's not the whole reason, you guys. She's being reductive. It's a read between the lines kind of thing. Only smart people could get it. Which is why Denji says, good enough for him, let's do this. We'll call ourselves Operation Makima. This is the first time I've ever considered that the romanized spelling for her name contains his. Right now, as I say this. Bring Aki and that fucking animal you call a roommate power over for breakfast sometimes, best bud Denji, who I will have a long and fruitful companionship with from this moment forward. Looks like Makima's not actually going to be able to make it over for breakfast later. She's got her hands a little full right now. She's on that business trip to Kyoto, fondly recollecting her drinking and wondering about lunch and getting shot in the brain multiple times by a gang of thugs. Wait, is she fucking dead? Oh, right, so it's this kind of series where everything goes sideways the second it isn't supposed to. Yeah, you were getting comfortable, weren't you? You thought we could just have friendships and talk about sex and crushes and drink with our coworkers, didn't you? You look like a real court jester right about now. She's looking pretty fucking dead. And so are a bunch of the other public safety workers, many of which we recognize, as they are evidently targeted by a coordinated criminal assault with guns. Oh Christ, how many did we just lose? And our main gang is totally oblivious, even hearing a distant gunshot that Denji draws attention to. Power naturally knows more about that though. Those aren't gunshots, those are taiko drum beats, you fucking buffoon. Also, Power changes the subject, asking if they boinked, which is both weird that she would pick up on that socially to me, but also not because of the whole she's an animal who can smell that you're a bitch. I don't know, whatever man, we're eating here, chill out. It's hilarious how silent they all get when they're taken by surprise by some douchebag insulting the ramen at this joint across the room, making small talk like, doesn't this place you're clearly enjoying just suck? Alright dude, cool it with the shit talk, you're an adversary, that doesn't mean you gotta bring the chef into it, he's just doing his best back there. Denji says tastes fine to him. Power says, did I say you could fucking speak? The fucking silverware rattles as she slams her fist down on the table. Fucking tell him. And look at Mr. Ramen Gatekeeper over here. Such an elitist. Thinks our guys can't tell shit from delicacy just because some of us grew up in a shed. Wait, you know about the shed? He's like, man, must suck to have bad taste, and Power retorts that she's plenty happy with her garbage palate. So go fuck yourself. Guys, stop. We can just leave. This guy's got no friends. He also has no grandfather. Really starts going on about his life story. Grandpa was a Yakuza, sure. So what if he killed some children? It wasn't a lot of them. And besides, he took me to eat at fancy places with his blood money. So it was a necessary evil, you see. Wait, no, I don't think I get it. You think he's a great guy? This guy, you mean? The guy that exploited Denji for years and then formed a contract that essentially surrendered his own life to a floating head. That guy, you mean? No, I didn't like him. Nobody did. That's it. Something Dun Devil wants your heart, asshole. Don't badmouth my granddaddy. I'll actually kill you. Holy fuck, episode actually saved. Like, this sequence alone is fucking chimpanzee bonobo ape. I love seeing Power duck under the table before you watch it from her perspective, and she sneaks up for an uppercut. I kind of love how quickly she acts to defend them right after already raising her quills over the guy just talking the wrong way at them. She even makes the call that while he's falling over, call in Fox Devil for a finishing bite, which alone makes this so fucking cool, watching the force of her summoning blow him through the wall and decimate everything. The red glow of her eyes amid the settling dust like an emergency light surrounding Aki. This is looking kind of fucky. Himeno got shot too. Jesus, Aki, what the hell did you make me swallow? This guy tastes like a freak! Are basically Fox Devil's last words before being torn open and revealing that the shonen protagonist special hybrid thing is, in fact, something other people have figured out sometimes. Katana Man makes his grand debut. You know, looking back, it's so obvious to me. Of course Denji's not the only one. There's probably going to be some super strong enemies all over the place with a weapon for a head, because why the hell not? What are the odds that Denji really is the only person to have ever had this happen? But I was still shocked to see it. It didn't come to mind on my first read through. We were really set up to believe that this anomaly that Denji manifests as is completely unknown to modern civilization, that he may truly be the special hero with the power unlike any other. And it's for that reason that when we lay eyes on this guy, we know this is no ordinary battle. They aren't dealing with a devil, they're dealing with a hostile human with devil power akin to Denji. And Aki knows this because he immediately throws away everything Himeno tried to prevent in the hotel and unsheathed his sword, revealing a nail-shaped blade, prepared to lose portions of his lifespan to combat this. It's hard to throw in how cool all the music is for these action scenes, but it's all really hype, okay? Oh man, oh fuck, I've been waiting for this. I wanted so badly to see how Mappa would portray Aki's use of the Cursed Devil's contract. Aki exchanges years of his life, and in return, the Cursed Devil will target any foe stabbed 3 times with his nail. A strike with this weapon is putting a curse on the target, and each time a hit lands, it's done so not just by Aki's strength, but by an otherworldly finger extending into reality and helping thrust the sword forward. Kind of like the Ghost Devil's arm strike stretching into view at points, they use the edge of the screen as a literal border of reality to have the finger just appear from, allowing for that blurring of the rules that this abstract being emanates. In the manga, it's straightforward, but very effective. The finger actually extends into reality from the outside of the panel, as if he exists outside of the comic, but can enter when called upon. So fucking cool. And with each attack, we see an ominous void with only the mouth of the cursed devil counting down what is left to summon it. Like, where the hell are we when this is happening? It's again as if it lives in another dimension that interacts with ours. Like in the second strike in the manga, where you can see it appearing nearby Katana Man, it manifests as something you can fully perceive in this reality, but the sense from which you are perceiving it is one that may be impossible to describe. You just recognize it's there. The final strike is so amazing too. The finger appears in the same ethereal way, stabbing into Katana Man just as Aki pierces him, and in this exact moment the curse is finalized, and we see a flash for maybe a couple of frames in which a demonic visage engulfs reality and shows itself to all. And with that, your fate is sealed, and escaping the curse is no longer an option. From that pocket reality, you are bound by its hands. It creeps into existence, crawls up your spine, crucifies you, and bites into your flesh until you are certainly dead. The music crescendos into the shrill horror movie soundtrack, overwhelming all sound so that the vicious attack itself is entirely silent, before harshly cutting back to the concrete reality where Katana Man lays dead, the mindfuck fully satisfied. I don't want to forget either, each time the curse hits, there's also this wave of distorted sound that's hard to describe, but it feels like it shakes your entire skeleton as your body absorbs the curse irreversibly. I love it. I love the Curse Devil, and how they put so much effort into recreating the eerie, rule-bending nature it carries. For funsies, it's based on a commonly cited form of Japanese curse called Ushi no Tokimairi, in which somebody is cursed by another who places nails into a sacred tree in a shrine, sometimes using an effigy, in order to kill the victim. The fact that it takes 3 stabs to summon the Cursed Devil could also be a reference to the practitioner of this curse being depicted as wearing an iron crown with 3 lit candles atop it. Westerners might have a familiarity with this concept earlier than you realize if you've played Pokemon and seen a ghost type use the move Curse, wherein the Pokemon stabs itself with a nail to cause continual harm to the opponent, even if the user faints. Sorry, I love this stuff. I'm just so happy to see this done so cinematically. We're taking a breather here, but shit's not over at all yet. Aki's surprised when it dawns on him that they were attacked with a gun. You can't do that, guns are illegal. That's against the law. But like even more than in real life Japan, because the gun devil made them super illegal. So these guys must really love guns. Alright, back to it. Some short girl in a hoodie just showed up with some commentary about how wacky that whole thing was, and then goes ahead and basically picks Katana Man up off the ground somehow and he's alive again, ready for round 2. What the fuck? She patronizingly asks him why he fucking sucks, to which Katana Man replies that he underestimated the situation and won't fuck up again. And I guess he meant it because he teleports behind you, nothing personnel top knot, cuts you before you even know anime shit. As Katana Man breathes heavily into his microphone, he's informed by Girl that Devil Hunter suits are reinforced with steel or something, so Aki's not dead yet. Himeno urges Power to do something, but Power's finally tapped out and she couldn't even keep up with Katana Man's chaos control. Ghost Devil also decides that this shit isn't worth it and refuses to help Himeno fight, but Himeno's pretty sure her organs are failing any minute now, and since she's bleeding out anyway, she makes an offer Ghost Devil can't refuse. Let her use all of Ghost, and Ghost can have all of Himeno. Well, why didn't you just say so? Let's go fuck up Swordman. Ghost high-fives Himeno, and then, as if this episode couldn't get any cooler, she high-fives the ground more and more, revealing her full body as a tangle of limbs beneath a bed of flowers and topped by a stitched-up face. Holy fucking shit, I love her. This is a beautiful horror terror right there. I love her hands crawling into existence, and I love the imposing, scary, yet quiet and collected personage she appears as. Ghost Devil may be my absolute favorite devil design. It just seems so perfect for this calm, dead being of nightmares. And this comes right after just adoring everything about the Cursed Devil. I'm really having trouble controlling my erection. Ghosts are a pretty universally feared idea, so Katana Man gets overtaken without much trouble doing this, and with each command, Himeno's body silently gets ripped from materiality, piece by piece, haunting music building into a dramatic melancholy and intense swan song. Himeno spends her final moments once again asking Aki not to die on her. Aki, she knows intimately, and has seen his true face, the one she thought endearing, worth teasing, the one that cried over the rookies he watched die in training. Aki never lost himself after seeing so many die, no matter what he wants you to think, and since Himeno was never able to change his path despite Aki fighting with his own humanity every step of the way, at least she knows that this way, he can cry for her and show he cares without a shadow of a doubt. At least she can have that if it means he can carry on. And yet... snakes are scary too. Sometimes you can sacrifice everything and it still not be enough. You don't know what you're up against. Snake unraveling a yawning mouth made of limbs is also incredible, and a fitting clash for the Ghost Devil. And the decision to depict it disappearing on command by just blipping away, leaving Ghost's head suspended separate from her body, is just so discordant. But really, I'm just distracting myself from how tragic this is. All that, and here we are. I wish we could go back to the bar. Outro review, I guess. The song is called First Death. Really activates those almonds, that one. It's by TK, who I'm pretty sure first starred in Digimon and now he's a grown-up. The song's really great though, an intense heavy rock sound with fast but levelly paced tone that emphasizes the severity of where we are alongside the still sadness. The visuals are very music video looking, nothing crazy in terms of direction I feel, but all pleasing to look at nonetheless. A more than serviceable final product that stands just fine with this collection of outros. Something that stands out is the reflection of Himeno's life with Aki playing while showing her encased in a cage of arms, literally trapped without the clothes she left behind inside the Ghost Devil's body. We also see the two fighting a devil as of yet unseen, but I can only imagine it's the Kirby final boss Nightmare Devil. It also starts with Aki meeting Himeno at the graveyard and ends with the sun setting as Aki visits the graveyard alone, thinking of a vibrant and alive Himeno before returning to Denjin Power, leaving an offering of flowers and cigarettes. I'm gonna fucking cry. Just get the fuck out of here already. I'll see you next week, maybe, if you're still alive. Don't die on me.